I love keeping these pets. But I also wanted to have pets on Unity, or my desktop in general. After playing Hollow Knight, I decided to make a desktop app using Hornet. Here's the result. Let's start from the beginning. First, I had to learn how to make a desktop app in general. I used this great tutorial from CodeMonkey. It was surprisingly very easy to follow and implement. It uses Windows API, it finds the borders then makes inside transparent, but in the end it's still just a Unity game that works on top. Rest of the code is to make it clickable and stay on top. As you see, I can switch between tabs when the app is open. So the transparency is done. What's next? Let's add our main character, Hornet. I had two options. I could use 2D or 3D assets. I'm used to work with 3D, so I could make a low poly model in Blender. Of course it would look better with cloth simulation and texture paint, but for now I need to see if the game works, so I could keep everything very simple. Then I could import model to Mixamo to add animations. However, I wanted to challenge myself and use 2D sprites. At first, I started with drawing animations. However, even simple animations take too long. I was lack on time and needed quick results. So I thought of another option. Some games share their sprite sheets online. But wait. What is a sprite sheet? Let's say you have 4 drawings for a jump animation. You put them all in one image. Then Unity can turn it into a continuous jump. So if I find the sprite sheet of Hornet, I can easily use it for the game. And yes, there is. It'll be very easy, right? I spent an entire hour. Still couldn't find walk animation. I need to change the strategy. I only have one idea left. Getting assets from the game itself. I took a game record, screenshot the frames, added to Ibis Paint. Then used this tool for getting the lines. Colored with bucket tool, fixed some areas and done. Here's before cleanup. And here's after cleanup. It's not perfect, but it looks good enough. Here's the sit animation. And here's the fight animation. I also got bushes and the bench using the same way. Since sprites are ready, let's go back to Unity. I think this next part, adding sprites and animations, was the most challenging for me. Before starting this project, I watched tutorials, tried to be more prepared, but sometimes stuff just didn't work and I had to spend much more time than I thought. But it's fine, because now everything seemed to work fine, and I'm more prepared for the future. Even started to love sprites actually. After this part went pretty smooth, added collider and rigid body to Hornet, and started with the first interaction, attack. Just a simple collision enter code, but it works. Then added bushes the same way, to start with second interaction, walk. Bushes are now clickable and movement is perfect. I also wanted her to rest, so my last interaction is bench. It's almost the same with bush, just has an animation on collision. Okay, I love it already. What should I add more? Maybe I could make bushes and bench movable, for decoration. Not only horizontal, also vertical. Added a UI to control these both. Made everything scalable, to make it more adaptive. Then, remember we made the app stay on top, now it's a dependency. You can close UI and open with right-click to objects. And lastly, a fresh game build. Now it should be playable in all Windows devices. Will I release this? The answer is, I really wanna. But I don't wanna get any copyright issues with one of my favorite company. Okay, so here's the deal. If this video gets 1,000 likes, that means people really care and wanna have this app. I'll try my best to make this app available for everyone. I'll probably first try to reach Team Cherry. If I can't, I'll renew assets in game. I have some plans. We'll see if they will work. Another question, but this time from me. What would you like to see in this app? Should I add music and sounds? Maybe more animations? Write them all in the comments. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you again.